In the neon-lit streets of 1980s Miami, a new religious movement emerged, promising empowerment and salvation to African Americans. Led by a charismatic figure who claimed to be the Son of God, the Nation of Yahweh attracted thousands. But beneath the surface of spiritual revival lay a darker reality, and murder became a tool of control. This is the story of Yahweh Ben Yahweh and the reign of terror that gripped South Florida. Part 1. The rise of Yahweh Ben Yahweh. In 1979, he founded the Nation of Yahweh in Miami, presenting himself as the divine leader of a black supremacist movement. The group attracted followers with promises of spiritual enlightenment and a return to African roots, but soon it became clear that Yahweh's leadership was authoritarian and violent. Yahweh Ben Yahweh demanded absolute loyalty. He controlled every aspect of his followers' lives, from their diet to their sexual relationships. Part 2. The cult's brutal practices. Under Yahweh's command, the Nation of Yahweh engaged in a series of heinous acts. Members were ordered to murder individuals deemed enemies or traitors. These killings were often ritualistic, with victims' ears severed as trophies. In 1986, 2 residents who resisted the group's takeover of a drug-infested apartment were shot dead. Ex-members who attempted to leave the cult were subjected to violent reprisals, including beatings and threats of death. Former follower Khalil Amani recalls, "I saw a hammer. He's just being pounded out on the floor. I still could hear him breathing with that sound of death." Part 3. The role of the Death Angels. Yahweh's enforcers, known as the Death Angels. They were encouraged to kill random white individuals in acts of racial retribution. Victims' ears were brought to Yahweh as proof of the killings, fulfilling his command to kill me a white devil and bring me an ear. Part 4. The downfall. The cult's reign of terror began to unravel in the late 1980s. In 1990, Yahweh Ben Yahweh and several followers were arrested and charged with multiple crimes, including murder, racketeering, and arson. Robert Rozier, a former NFL player and devotee of Yahweh, confessed to 7 murders and testified against Yahweh in exchange for a reduced sentence. Rozier testified, "I killed 4 Yahweh. I was one of his death angels." Part 5. The trial and conviction. In 1992, after a 5-month trial, Yahweh Ben Yahweh and 6 of his followers were convicted of conspiracy to commit murder. Yahweh was sentenced to 18 years in prison and fined $20,000. He was released on parole in 2001, but was prohibited from contacting any past or present members of the Nation of Yahweh. Yahweh Ben Yahweh died in 2007, but the legacy of his cult's violence continues to haunt the survivors and the community. The Nation of Yahweh's story is a chilling reminder of how charismatic leaders can manipulate and control, leading followers down a path of destruction. The echoes of their crimes serve as a warning. Even in the pursuit of spiritual enlightenment, darkness can lurk. Until next time.